You want to go first?
We met at a bar in Flagstaff.
Uh,
It's the wonderful meal my wife makes for me every morning when I get up.
I gotta go.
These are my grandchildren.
This guy, I still remember his name, Alan, was bothering me. He was just trying to pick up on me, and he was bothering me, and he was really a dork. So I looked across the room and I saw this cute guy, and I looked at him and I did that with my eyes. Why don't you come over here and rescue me? And he was reading my lips. So he came over a little while later, I guess. Anyway, introduced himself and got me away from that dorky guy.
We went to a small high school in Phoenix named Girard, and only had 500 kids in the whole school. And he was a friend of mine's older brother, and he was always nicknamed Tippy Toe Wilkinson. And so I knew of him, but you never talked to, the older brother never talked to his younger sister's friends. So he knew of me.
First day was a little Italian restaurant down in Manasquan, New Jersey. It's a small beachside town, really kind of quaint, and it was nothing fancy or anything else, just a great place that I used to like to go, and so that's where I took her on the first date.
Did he remember that? This is a bad time because you know what? This is a really bad time because I'm off all my medications. I'm all screwed. I'm serious. My hormones are all screwed up. My memory is sucking right now.
Because we don't want to be divorced. What kind of life is that?
Yeah.
Our life is so much better than that. I don't know how other marriages are, but I'm sure, other people that have been married for as long as Melanie and I have, I mean, they've had their fair share of arguments, and you have an argument and you get over it,
Yeah, you just make compromises for the other person, and there's a companionable agreement that we've come to the point where we've been married for 23 years and together 26 or 27, where it's so lovely that we like to just be in the same room together.
We've disproven that theory. But yeah, I think it's healthy to have different views and opinions. If you all agree on the same thing all the time, I don't know if that really kind of makes sense. I mean, everybody's bound to have a cross opinion somewhere along the line, and it's okay. It's just as long as you talk about it and you're honest about it, and you don't let it bother you.
But that's kind of irrelevant in the scheme of things, I think. It's more just the give and take thing that you have to be willing to give a little to get a little. Not in that way, but.
But that's not it, okay? It's just a commitment we've made to each other and a commitment to work things out. And bottom line is, there's one thing I learned about marriage and living in a relationship, it's all about compromise.
I think we're best friends. I think that's what works, and we let each other's individual style. No one controls and manipulates each other. We let them be themselves, and we work together as a team.
We have more time together.
Yeah.
We have, some people aren't comfortable with each other, and other people have a companionable silence. And for people whose spouses have died, that's one of the things they really miss, is that the other person isn't in the room or in the next room, and you're so totally comfortable that you can just be quiet together, and it's still good.
So we decided to take a cruise and get to know each other again outside of kids, because the kids have been around for 25 years, and that was because you really have to rethink your whole relationship all over again. And while it worked for 30 years, is it going to work for the next 30? And that's a question I don't think anybody knows.
How do I think it will change? I think it already has, probably, but it's just hard. You get used to things being different, and now it's much quieter. It's much calmer. It's much and then you learn that you kind of like the hustle and bustle part of things, and then when it's almost too quiet sometimes, you know, and then it's just the two of you there. Like, so you want to rent a movie?
You don't talk about your personal stuff. It talks about, okay, what do you got here, where do you got to be, and who do you got to run to? That was a big chunk of your life, and it's only in the last few years that's kind of, oh, no one's home for dinner. Oh, it's just us. Okay. What do? We open a can of soup.
Again, a little transition time for us now.
Yeah, we're not used to that part yet.
We had to relearn who we were all over again.
We're already worried about the empty nest syndrome.
I think I'm going to be an emotional wreck, in all honesty.
Now it's the two of us and we can do whatever we want to again, and we're not so old that we're dead.
Doing more stuff together, hating each other more.
I love
I don't
him
even ever
so
think about
much. Because he's my best friend.
But it's going to be interesting once the last one moves out of the house.
Because you never know what you're going to get. It's always good, but you never know. Keeps things exciting, if nothing else.
Well, let's just say this. In some ways, Sharon and I have a very typical marriage. In some ways, it's very different. But I'll tell you this. It's always a little bit different, and it's never boring. Your turn.
I still love him as much as I did when I love him more than I did when I met him.
There's no doubt I love your mom more today than the day I met her. Met lots of people that have, when they introduced me to herself or were talking to me about herself, told me they were married 3 times on their 4th marriage, and usually people like that, I just go, oh, okay, and turn around and walk away.
It's been a great ride, and you enjoy it. You enjoy the time that you spend with each other, and you basically acquiesce. And so I think that is probably one of the primary drivers.
Drivers? What's the question? I'm sorry.
Just what do you enjoy about Saturday?
Apples melt like lemon drops way up above the chimney tops. That's where you